Mythical Jinx is back yet again. We are on video 4 of the tutorial for the Hunt map creation line. This is the line, the master line. These 7 pieces right here are your essentials for every collectible, okay? Now, when you start the map and you put down all your mechanics, you put this in the mechanical room. You never use this one. Never. Don't ever put it into the map to be a collectible. This stays in your mechanical room and just stays there. When you go to make a collectible, you will copy the button, the HUD, both switches, and your prop manipulator or your barrier, and then you will just make another one. And then another one. And then another one. And then another one. And so on and so on and so on. Every time you make one, it will automatically program itself into everything else it needs to be programmed into once the line has been started. Okay? The reason why you never use this one is so you can just copy it again and again and again. You only ever copy this one. This is your default settings, basically. Okay? You're going to need a button, a HUD message, 2 switches, and your prop manipulator or your barrier. The only difference between a barrier and a prop manipulator we will get to when I get to that spot. First off is the button. The button, you only need to change the interaction text to whatever the collectible is called. You gotta make sure that it is invisible in the game, so it's not visible, you can't see it. And your radius is determined by how close you want them to get to it. Some collectibles you don't mind a 0.5. I would not go any higher than that ever. Other ones you want them to get a little closer to it, and 0 means they got to be right on it looking at it. Okay? Interaction time is how long do you want them to sit there and hold the button. Normally 0.75 is good. I wouldn't go anywhere over 3. It's a long time to be sitting there. I've seen maps go with the quick grab for some fall times. That's not a bad idea. But for this example, we're going to stay at 0.75. These functions, there are none. These are special. You can do them later on for special things once you get more advanced in the system. The only thing you really need is on interact, master switch, check state. Master switch is one of the switches right here. Make sure you name these as I have named them. They're all named master. Okay? That's all he needs. Don't mind the box. The box is just here for testing. When you copy each time, you want to test real fast, just to be safe. Your master switch. Make sure that these are saved to exactly what I have here. You're gonna want allow interaction to be no. In case they ever get in your mechanical room, they can start destroying the place and messing up scores and messing up mechanics. Store state per player. Yes. This needs to be on so people can have a save feature when they play your map. Use persistence. Same thing. These need to be on. Auto save. Yes. Auto load from game start. Resolve conflict from the first player. Check state at game start. Disable. These have to be set this way for it to work. If you change these, I cannot be responsible for it not working again. Turn on receiving from master switch on, check result off. That means when they push the button, it will check itself. If it's off, it will turn itself on. If it's on, it will do the already found feature, which we went over in the last video. It will turn off when progress reset trigger is triggered. That means when the player goes to reset their progress, This will be turned off to be collected again later. It will check the state when being received from the button. We just went over that. This is a fun day. On turn on, it must submit to the analytical device, which it should already be doing that. The master progress switch, which we'll go over next. The master HUD message, which we'll go over in a bit. The score manager must give the player a point. On turn off, it sends a signal to the progress switch to turn the progress switch off, which we'll get to in a minute. On check result on, it needs to do the HUD message already found feature. On check result off, it needs to turn itself back on. Okay, make sure those are all correct. Okay, next one. The master progress switch. This one, once again, make sure all these items use persistence. This is very important. If you mess this up the first time, it will break your line, and the only way to fix it will be to reset people. Nobody likes to be resetted. Nobody. People do like to reset, but they like it to be their own choices. Some people don't ever reset. Okay, your functions. This should only turn on when receiving from the master switch on turn on. It should turn off when receiving from the master switch on turn off. Check state, check progress button should check the state for your collection board. And the rest is fine. On check result on, this is where the barriers will come in, okay? On check result on, a master prop manipulator, this is the purple box, will show props and hide props. For a barrier, on check result on, it will disable the barrier, and on check result off, it will enable the barrier. That is the difference right there between the two devices, okay? Master prop manipulator. Okay. This guy here needs to be set to on start hidden for barrier area start enabled. If it's all objects in the zone, yes. These are self-determined by what size you want the box to be. We'll go over that in a minute. Functions. Show props receiving from the master progress switch on check result on. Hide props will receiving from the master progress switch on check result off. The rest of these don't get touched. Now, when you're setting up your collectibles, make sure this box is around the entire collectible, every piece of it. For example, the my furniture. This map uses the peonies. Look at my peonies, that's so cute. If I want to make sure this peony is the collectible, let me just copy here more fast. Take my PD down here in the mechanical room with me. Okay, PD Boy here is my collectible. That means PD Boy, every piece of PD must be in the purple box. Everything in the purple box will be hidden when the game starts. So we're gonna run a test game real fast. I'm gonna make sure that I spawn at my current location. Okay. So, let's run a test. We're gonna start the game. For the example of this test, the box is gonna be Mr. Peely, okay? We got a Peely. You saw the switches turn on. Cool. Now, you don't see the Peely yet. I understand that. We need to check our board, which is right here. Let's reset. Check our board should be right here. Check status. We got Peely! Yay! We got a Peely! Awesome! You know what? I don't want Peely no more. I'm gonna reset. Are you sure you want to reset? Yes, I want to reset. See how I score with the 0? That's what these guys are all doing right here. Everyone's doing the job. Peely's still there. Don't worry. Now I check my board. Now reset. Check my board. I suck! I lost Peely. He's not here no more. Hey, I found Peely. Alright. Woohoo! I suck again. This is how the line should function in game. If you do all these things as Jinx has instructed you, this is exactly how it should function. Okay? Now we're going to end the game. We're almost done. I'm going to reset this so it's back in the box. And Mr. Peely, you've done your job well. Time for you to go back upstairs. Okay, Mr. Peely can go right here. Okay. Now, this is very important. When you go to make a brand new map, say this map is already done, you're going to make your second map, you want to start mechanics. So instead of going through and doing all that work over again, what you want to do is you want to grab everything over here. You want to grab this button, you want to grab your test dummy, you want to grab your HUD, grab both of these switches, grab your prop player or your barrier, grab the other test dummy, grab your one start pad, your item granter, your remote, your data box, your already found features, your collectible triggering process, all 5 of these guys, your score managers, your check progress, and your reset. 1896. If you use the exact same system I have been using, you should have that many points. Do a quick cut. Make sure you got everybody. And then point to anything and save it into your phone. Save it all into the same slot. If you save it into multiple slots, you will break the connections and your line will come out completely blank in certain spots and it won't work. You have to reprogram it again. Okay? When you go to the new map to drop it off, you drop off the entire line in one transition. Do not drop off the line in a map that already has mechanics in it, because those mechanics will clash with the old mechanics and they will compete for being primary mechanics. In the end, both will lose and your map will not function anymore. You have to come back in here, do a map reset, and reprogram everything, and your player base will not like you for that anymore. Okay? Sorry, my nose is running. Later on, when this map is ready, we will go over how to add collectibles and what happens when you add a second collectible to the list. As of right now, Jinx has gone over the main process of beginning a map and all the essentials. Everything else It's up to your discretion. You can copy any collectibles from anything you think of. You can do socks, you can do pandas, you can do jingle hoppers, you can do forks, you can do spoon hunt, you can do silverware hunt, you can do birthday cake hunt, you can do hat hunts, cow hunts, egg hunts, whatever you want to hunt. You can hunt for piles of donkey if we care. It doesn't matter. It's up to your discretion. Everything else is limited by your imagination. There are other ways to hide items that can be programmed, can be processed, can be found. Jinx will be doing videos on hiding processes later on in the series. This concludes the video for the line. Jinx, hope you enjoyed. Remember, stay mythical.